Hello, welcome to Bits of Java. Let's talk a little bit about a common ArrayList algorithm of removing a match. So here we have a set of earthquakes, and we want to remove any of them that have that are in the eastern hemisphere that have a positive longitude value. So here's the general format that we'd use for removing items from a list. We'll loop through the entire array list, and the key here is we're looping backwards. We'll talk about why in a moment. So I'm starting at the end at the size -1. I'm going all the way to 0, including 0. And common mistake is for people to forget to do I minus minus here to go backwards. So sometimes you do I plus plus here, then you'll go out of bounds. So make sure you do I minus minus. So for each of these earthquakes that I get, if its longitude is bigger than 0, if it's positive, I'm going to remove it. So what happens is when, let's say, I is 5, 4 is a positive longitude, so this one gets deleted, and then the 5 goes away. I becomes 4. This one is not deleted because it's negative, so I becomes 3. This one is positive, so this one moves. And note that in the 3 spots, in the 3 index, the -3 is here again. That was when we already checked last time. But since we're going backwards, when I becomes 2, we move on to the left, and we just keep on going. And this will work our way down as we remove the 1. When we remove the 1, these tool shift over, but I'm still going backwards, so the 0 will get here, and then remove the 1 over here. So let me undo that, and let me show you what happens when we loop forward. So if we loop forward, if I have I equals 0, and I go to I is less than the earthquakes.size, and I work my way forward, here's what happens. So I starts at 0, and this one's a match. I remove it, so everything shifts down, and I have, let's get these things lined up. We now have a size of 5, and I goes up to 1 because we go on to the next, the update of the for loop. We go on to the next loop, I is 1, and notice that this 20 here gets skipped over because we're now, 20 was at index 1, but because of the shifting, it moved to the left. So now this -5 that was at 2 is now over at index 1. So that one doesn't match. I equals 2. This one is a match. So the 7 goes away. The -3 moves over. And in this case, when I is 3, it's okay because the -3 happened to be next to it. So this 4 will be correctly removed. Basically what happens is you run into an issue when you have adjacent, but you've got back-to-back matches, because the match that will be to the right, we undo again, so get back to where we were. Keep going, a couple more, and there we go. So when these two are back-to-back, when this one gets deleted, the next one gets skipped over. Here, 7 and 4 were not back-to-back, so the non-match is fortunate to be skipped over, but again, we just lucked out like that. So you will always have a problem if you have back-to-back matches when going forward. So one way we can deal with that would be to, when we find a match, adjust for the fact that everything shifted left, and we can shift the index left as well. So that's the other way of doing it. However, looping backwards avoids all the negative effects in the first place, and you don't have to even worry about forgetting about shifting.